All right. Okay, so we're live. Good evening, everyone. So magandang gabi po. So my name's Glenn. I'm from Fujifilm Philippines, and welcome to another Facebook Live. Dito, of course, sa Fujifilm Philippines. So today is Friday night. So I hope you are all at home and safe at home. So tonight, this is gonna be a very interesting Facebook live no event kasi we are doing a recap of the X-Summit Prime 2021. So kung hindi nyo napanood yung kahapon, last night was a very big night for Fujifilm as a brand kasi marami kaming in-announce na new products. So basically, ngayong gabi we'll try to digest, the announcements, do a recap of the new products that were announced last night. And himay-himayin natin ng konti yung mga in-announce. So if you are excited, to know more about these new products, so I ask you everyone to join in the conversation. So this is gonna be, a very informal online event. So kung meron kayong comments about the new products or you have questions, so comment nyo lang below, and we you may win, you may receive um, a token from Fujifilm Philippines. So ayan. So again, welcome to X-Summit Prime Recap. So last night, nag-announce si Fuji ng napakaraming actually mga new products. So we have a new GFX camera, and then a new GF lens, tapos dalawang XF lenses. So I invite everyone. So again, welcome to tonight's FB Live, X-Summit Prime Recap. And we will talk about what happened kahapon sa event. Ayan. Okay. So again, I'd like to remind you, so if you have any comments, kung nagustuhan nyo ba, or kung ano yung, what are you excited about the new products tonight, or meron kayong mga tanong or what's next, mga tanong about what's next sa Fujifilm, so just comment them down below and you may receive tokens from Fujifilm Philippines. Ayan. So ngayong gabi meron tayong dalawang exciting guests, of course. So they are our dear friends of the Fujifilm Philippines, and of course they are in the tech industry. So they have insights about the industry, di lang sa camera industry, but the tech industry as a whole. So malalaman natin kung ano yung kanilang insights tungkol dun sa mga bagong mga products na in-announce natin. So again, I invite you to join the conversation. Comment your comments down below, and let us know what you think about the new products. Okay, so hindi ko na papatagalin pa. I'd like to welcome our guest for tonight. So si Sir Ted Claudio of Wazzup PH.
Hello,
Hi, Sir
good
Ted.
evening everyone.
Magandang gabi.
Magandang
Ayun.
gabi po sa inyong lahat. Hope everybody is safe and relaxed this Friday evening.
Yes. And then of course, meron pa tayo isang mga kasama, Sir Ted, for tonight. Si Neil Jimenez of GIZGUIDE.
Hi guys, welcome
Hi,
back.
Neil. Hi, Neil.
Hi, hello, how are you guys?
Yan, I'm good. I'm doing good. Ito, nasa bahay. Nasa bahay lang. Staying home. So, how about
Staying
you?
safe. Same. Staying home, staying safe. You know how it is.
Oh, chill lang sa bahay.
Yes. So, Sir Ted and Neil, anong mga namimiss nyong gawin ngayong nasa quarantine? Pa rin.
Mag-photo walk, mag-events.
Same.
Usual. Kasi parang right now, most of my work right now, studio work. And then writing and being on the computer. So parang miss ko na talaga maglabas, maglakad, take pictures.
Right, yeah.
Ako, namimiss ko naman
yes,
mag-selfie with sa mga artista. Pag-coverage ng mga events, di ba?
Kilala si Tito Ted. Pag nakita mo sa events si Tito Ted, kilala ng mga artista yan.
Ngayon, puro Zoom lang eh. Nakakatamad magpa-picture sa Zoom. Puro screen cap lang.
So I guess namimiss din nating tatlo ang live events.
Yes.
Especially siguro si Sir Ted, no? Yes.
Oo, definitely.
It's been a while.
Masarap ang mga pagkain sa live events.
Totoo naman. Although masasarap yung mga pagkain na pinapadala ng mga events na pupuntahan namin. Right now, sa Zoom, they'd send us food rin. Pero hindi pa rin yung, iba pa rin yung nantungkay.
Ayun. So, Sir Ted and Neil, of course, kwentahan nyo kami na, of course, I know you are also into photography and you are Fujifilm user. So, you know, tell us about, you know, what you like shooting and like what you currently use na mga cameras.
Sige, Tito Ted, ikaw muna. Ikaw muna, Tito Ted. Mas
Ako
madami
muna?
kang use case eh.
Okay. So, ako naman, actually, marami kasing actually, I love street photography. So, yung street photography, actually, yan na nagdala sa akin sa Fuji eh. Kasi dati meron kaming grupo, yung Daan sa street photography. So, that time, naalala ko si Romel noon, yung mga unang early times ng Fuji, di ba? Madalas sumasama kayo sa photo walk. Si Romel nandun. So nakita ko yung mga kasama ko sila unti-unti nang nagko-convert sa Fuji kasi ang sarap gamitin ng mga Fuji camera nung kasi sa street, no? Kumbaga medyo maliit siya, classic. So actually yun ang nag-trigger sa akin. I've been a Fujifilm user kasi parang mga 7 years na, mga 9 ano bang year yun?
Wow.
Kasi naalala ko, 2014. Ano yun? Unang-una, pagbili ko ng camera sa isang store, diretso na kagad. Punta na ako ng ABS-CBN do sa Presscon. So, nabinyagan kagad yun. Hindi pa na-charge yung battery. Ganun ako ka-excited gamitin yung nauna kong XE2 with the kit lens lang yun, pero ganda ng quality. So, that actually really got me hooked into the Fuji system. Hanggang nag-upgrade na ako ng X-T2, naging X-T3, tapos kumuha ng second body na X-T30. So sana X-T4, sana GFX soon.
Yun na.
Pero Tito Ted, ilan na ba ang lenses mo? Ang dami mong box sa likod eh. Feeling ko lenses lahat din nasa likod eh.
Actually, nangongolekta lang ako ng box, hindi ng
Anong
lente.
box?
Oo,
Walang
binibili
laman.
ko 'yan yung mga boxes sa tapos nilalagay ko sa likod para magandang dekorasyon kasi yung mga
Ganun pang
mga lenses.
dekorasyon.
Oo.
Iba ka
Actually,
talaga, Tito Ted.
kasi ang sarap kolektahin ng mga napaka value for money. It's a great investment yung mga lenses ng Fuji kasi I think kahit makailang model ka na, kasi yung ibang mga lente ko, mga 6-7 years na. So palit lang ako ng palit ng body. So still I use the same lenses.
Ayun.
Ikaw ba, Neil? Ano bang
How about you, Neil? Yes.
And actually, I started photography when I was about to graduate college. Actually, graduated na ako from college. That was 2011. Around that time, kasi parang yung mga classmates ko may yaman, may mga dala-dalang DSLR habang nagkaklase. I was studying at nursing in UST. So parang doon ako naging interested in trying. So hinihiram ko palagi yung mga camera nila. And then, of course, at that time, nung nag-graduate na ako, I asked for a camera for my graduation gift. It was another brand. Pero doon nagsimula yung photography journey ko. Pero at that time, hindi pa ako super serious. I just took pictures for my, pag nagka-travel ako or pag kasama family ko. Mainly ganun lang. And then, 2015, when we started GIZGUIDE, we started August 2015. At that time, parang, I was looking for another camera to bring with me everywhere. Kasi parang, madami kami events and stuff like that. I wanted something small and compact. And parang at that time, I did not know. Parang nakita ko lang sa mall actually. A demo unit. Parang stable siya na may 3 camera dun sa mall. Sa Shangri-La. Gadget something. Info gadgets? Basta something. It was a green brand na gadget store. Tapos parang there was a running demo unit ng mga Fujifilm cameras. Na-engganyo ako dun sa X100T. And then parang, there was something about the camera na parang, after that, hindi na siya mawala sa utak ko. I wanted to get that camera. So the next is big Lazada sale. Nung time na yon hindi pa ganun ka-regulate. Wala pa limit sa discount. Nung time na yun sa Lazada sale. So parang I was able to buy the X100T at a massive discount at that time. Wala pa kasing mga
Oh,
max 1,000, max something. Super laki ng discount ko noon. Thank you Lazada. I was able to buy the X100T. Siyempre takot pa ako bumili ng cameras online pero bumuwis ako ng buhay dahil sobrang mura niya. Ang laking discount eh. Kumbaga parang nakuha ko second hand yung presyo niya, even sometimes cheaper. Anyway, that was my first Fujifilm camera. I really enjoyed that camera. Doon ako naka-experience ng camera na every time nakikita ko siya, I want to take pictures. And then fast forward a few years, nanalo ako sa isang raffle ng 3-day trip sa Japan, Tokyo. Manood ng concert. So sabi ko, I actually did not mind the concert. Hindi ko priority yung concert. Pero the mere fact na they gave you a all expenses paid trip sa Tokyo plus may pocket money pa, I took the chance. So I went there. Tapos at some point nagulat ako, na-drop ko yung X100T. So I went to your service center. I had it checked. Pero mukhang para sa akin medyo the repair cost would para bumili ako ng camera. Kasi parang the mechanism of the X100T pala is very complicated. If that thing, you have to replace the whole mechanism ng rangefinder, which is a great thing. That's why it's so small. Pero yun nga lang, you would have to replace the whole mechanism. So I said at that time, I should get a new Fujifilm camera na lang. At that time, kaka-launch pa ng X-T2. Ayun, nag-pre-order ako ng X-T2. And then, ayun, I loved the X-T2. It was with me. It's still with me now. It's in my dry box. And fast forward 2 years later, when the X-T4 came out, I also bought that. You're seeing me right now. It's the X-T4, as you can see there.
Yun.
And ayun, I've been using it for more than a year now. I've been pretty happy. Parang dumating siya sa akin June of last year. More than a year with me. I'm very happy. Kasi parang yun nga, I've been shooting for the whole year in my studio with it. So far, okay naman. I've been very happy with it.
Nice.
Hindi ako naniniwala, Ronil, na nalaglag yun. Nilaglag mo talaga yun. Gusto mo lang mag-upgrade. Lumang ano na yan. Nabili na yan.
So napansin ko lang, lahat pala tayo mukhang nag-gravitate towards the rangefinder style, no? Like ako rin, my first one was also an X100T. So certain an XE2.
Oh, saka nanalo ko ng X1, hindi pala ako nanalo, yung isang kasamahan kong vlogger, nanalo siya ng X100, yung original, pero since siya, hindi siya sanay, sabi ko, biling ko na lang yan. Kasi pangarap ko rin yung X100 series.
Ayun.
Actually, up until now, I still want one. Pero parang I can never justify the purchase kasi parang for me, it's a luxury na eh. I mean, I have the X-T4 na I can shoot whatever I wanted to shoot. Pero yung iba pa rin yung experience sa X100 series eh. I want to buy one, pero not right now. Pag kunwari medyo may extra money tayo, then G.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yun,
wish list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's perfect nga no na we've all had the older generation na X-series cameras and yun nga perfect yun kasi we know kung we grew with the system, the X-series system, and ito ngang X-Summit Prime nung last night, yung announcement, it shows us yung future of the GFX and the X-series system. So magandang yun yung pag-uusapan natin tonight, yung mga in-announce na products from last night. So
10 years
generally,
na pala.
how did yun? Yes sir Ted, 10 years na, can you believe?
Oo nga, bilis,
next year will be the 10th year anniversary of the X-series.
Sa Philippines, gano'n nakatagal yung X-series sa Philippines?
Well, the Philippine office ni Fujifilm was established, I believe, 2013 or 2012, mga ganon. So,
Malapit na matagal. 10 years talaga. Mag-decade na tayo.
Oh.
So, yun. So,
Teka, bago ko lang makalimutan, Glenn,
go ahead, Sir Ted.
I just want to say hello to our photography friends. So, hello po, welcome po sa show. Nandito rin yung mga idols natin.
Yes.
Actually,
Na
hi
mga street
idols.
photographers. So, yung mga idols
Ayun,
natin dyan.
sabi ni Gian, 2012, yes, si Gian was one of the OGs yan. 2012, yung Fujifilm Philippines yan.
Hi, Gian.
All the way from CDO.
Oo, pag pumupunta ng Maynila yan, may dala ritong yung pastel. Ang sarap nun. Pag magpo-photo walk, dadayo yan dito, may dalang pasalubong na pastel. Kamis talaga yung mga photo walk.
Okay. So siguro Sir Ted and Neil, let's start with the first announcement from last night. So, mag-replay lang tayo ng a short clip from that announcement and then yon pag-usapan natin yung product na in-announce last night. Okay,
Sige, go ahead.
Let's play this, please.
This is our new GFX50S2. As the name suggests, this camera has a 50 megapixel image sensor. The image quality achieved by this sensor is superb and is still a no match for most full-frame camera. The reason for the high quality is enough pixel size from the larger format. This pixel size is one of the largest among cameras that you can purchase today. Thanks to this advantage, the GFX is able to achieve wider dynamic range and better signal-noise ratio. It looks as if the details are lost in the shadows and highlights. But if we look at the details, you can notice even the shadow within the shadows and highlight within the highlights. And even if you make the push processing like this, you can hardly see noises within the image. The horizontal is showing the level of the resolution, and the vertical is showing the noise level, even when compared with full-frame cameras with higher number of pixels. The resolution is superior. We combined the 50 megapixel sensor with the in-body image stabilization and the powerful image processor from GFX100S.
Ayun. Okay, so yung first na in-announce was of course the GFX50S2. So ito yung second generation na GFX50S. So GFX50S was the first dun sa GFX lineup ni Fuji na we came out with that around 2016 if I'm not mistaken. So yun nga, so sabi nga ni Udono-san, no, so it's really I think the most important part of the camera is really the sensor inside, no, and what it can bring to the customer. So, Sir Ted, Neil, what are your thoughts about, of course, having a medium format sensor?
Well, it's like what most people think now, diba? If you look at smartphones right now, palaki sila ng palaki ng sensor, diba? Same thing. Kasi parang what is the benefit of a larger sensor? Kasi the benefit of a larger sensor usually is mas malaki yung pixels mo. So if when you have a bigger pixel, medyo technical to, pero pag mas malaki kasi pixel mo, you have a larger parang lalagyan for light.
Yes.
So parang because of that, you can really have so much data in it na kahit mas matagal siya mag-blow out, so you can really pull the shadows and the highlights. Actually, yun yung maganda sa medium format sensor natin. I've shot with a couple of the older models. I can pull the highlights back, which is not possible in smaller sensor cameras.
Yes.
Oh, ako naman ang ano ko diyan, ang non-technical explanation ko is the bigger the sensor, mas malaki ang TF mo. So mas mahal ang singil mo.
Mahal ang fee mo, yun ba yan?
Oo. Kasi kung halimbawa, kung minsan pag yung pag hindi ka naka full frame or hindi ka hindi ka mga naka large format, kung ang rate mo is mga 30K to 50K per shoot, pag naka large sensor kang katulad nito, pinakamababa na yung mga, siguro pinakabarat na yung 60 to 100K. Kumbaga tao pa lang shoot mo nun, hindi pa mga buildings. So, I think yun ang isang advantage for me para sa mga professionals. Kasi nga, hindi madi-deliver nung smaller sensors yung kayang gawin nung Hindi lang siya in terms of dun sa high megapixels o sa resolution. Kasi kumbaga, yung sinasabi nga ni Neil, di ba, malalaki yung yung sensor niya, 1.7 times larger nga. So talagang mababatak mo yung kahit yung sa madilim na nakikita pa, hindi nakahatak pa yung details, kahit yung sa highlights nandun din. Kaya ang ganda nga nung yung pinakita nung photo, talagang kumbaga sinasabi niya meron pang highlights within the highlights, meron pang shadows within the shadows. Pero ang pinaka bottom line talaga na benefit for professionals, in my opinion, is pwede kang mag-brag ng sinasabi mo, my competition cannot deliver the quality that I can deliver because meron akong large sensor which they don't have. So that commands a higher talent fee or professional fee.
Ba talaga si Tito Ted?
So I guess yun nga no, I mean to summarize what you both said. So having a medium format sensor of course will give you a better image quality and better highlight and shadow recovery. Tapos on the business side of it naman, of course, when you have a higher end a medium format camera, you can actually charge a premium to um, dun sa charge mo dun sa clients mo. Pero Sir Ted,
Oo.
yung tanong ko, of course, syempre the medium format like before it's really meant for professionals. Pero kasi with the GFX system now, I believe what we're trying to do um is opening up the medium format system to more users, especially like hobbyists. So do you think the introduction of the 50S2 will really encourage more hobbyists to go to move up to the medium format system?
Ikaw, Neil, sa palagay mo, mag-ship
Actually,
ka na ba?
in my earlier time sa GIZGUIDE, nung nagsisimula pa lang kami, I was able to visit a coffee shop in Makati called Curator. Ewan ko nandun. At that time, I met this person. He was working as a barista there for part-time lang. His name was Sunny Thakur, if you know him.
Si Sunny.
He's
Yes, Sunny, yeah.
he's a very very amazing photographer.
Yes,
At that time,
yeah.
nakwento niya sa akin na he mainly shoots for magazines. If you've heard of, I forgot the magazine lang na he was shooting for. Pero he shot that amazing photo of Wang Od, I think. Or basta he told me na he uses a medium format camera. And at that time, he only rents it. I don't know if he remembers the story. I don't know. Pero parang at that time, most commercial photographers, they would rent a medium format camera kasi it was so ridiculously expensive. As in, tapos yung body pa lang yon. Paano pa yung lens? So the whole, if you're gonna get a whole system, ilang million na yon. So parang sobrang laking kaban na yon. So ngayon, although, actually, nung nagsimula si Fujifilm, diba, parang 350,000 yung
Yes, oo.
first GFX50, diba?
Yes. 366 actually.
Yung mga around 366,000. So around that time, although for most people, parang ang laki na nun. Pero for a medium format camera na million for a whole system, 366,000 is actually, it looks more reasonable than several millions. And now, Fujifilm wants to make it cheaper. Kasi parang lumabas yung GFX50R, di ba? Parang around 200 something siya. Tama ba?
Yes.
So parang pamura ng pamura yung ating mga medium format, which is great. Kasi konti na lang eh. I mean, right now, yung X series natin, for example, you can get it very cheap. Under 50, you can get an X series camera for 50. Tapos if you want the highest performing one, the X-T4, nasa around 100,000 siya, di ba?
Yes.
So parang per APS-C, that's great. Pero if you just want an overall better image quality, at the time kasi wala pa yung GFX9, wala tayong pang-answer dun eh. And naghahanap tayo ng ganun. So now, if you look at it, malapit na. Super lapit na natin sa 208, 260,000 na yun. And kumbaga parang, let's be honest, yung mga pros natin sa Philippines, their budget for a camera, I mean, I don't know if I can, yung flagship na SLR from another brand, nasaan magkano ba yun? 150? Diba? For the body. So those was several years ago. Ewan ko kung magkano siya ngayon. Pero around that time, so malapit na, diba? From 200 to 150, hindi na ganun kalayo yun. But you're getting a bigger sensor. Depende na sa work mo yun, kung mas kailangan mo ba yung maliit na sensor na para mabilis, or do you want the larger sensor for the higher quality? And now, dati, you would never think about it kasi million yun eh. From 150K na professional SLR to several millions for medium format. Ngayon, you have an option, which is around 200 to 300,000. That's what Fujifilm created that segment. They went into that segment, and that's what's great. Kasi malapit na siya. Eventually, tech will get cheaper. It will get even cheaper eventually. So I'm excited. Actually, the very first time the GFX was announced, I was very excited. I mean, at the time, right now, I still can afford one. Pero alam ko, eventually, magiging mura yan sa punto na I can afford it. And I've tried several of the GFX cameras, and I can tell you, I want that image quality. Pero right now, hindi ko pa afford. Pero I want that image quality na nakuha mo sa Iba yung look ng medium format. Iba rin yung look ng 16-bit medium format. As in, if you look at it at a monitor my monitor is 8-bit FRC. So parang almost 10-bit. Pero from that pa lang, alam ko na malaking tulong yung kunwari, if I look at an image at 14 or 16-bit. Which the GFX line provides.
Ako, Sir Glenn, wala akong hilig sa, di ba, sasabi mo, review ka naman ng GFX. Imbis na yung mga X-mount lang. Sabi ko, parang di ko interesado kasi parang out of reach eh. Di ba? Kung yung ganun, mga presyo nun, 350,000. Pero ngayon, yung nakikita kong yung price range niya na mga 250, meron ng kasamang lens.
Lens, yes.
Actually, parang nagiging magnet na siya na, nagkakaroon na ako ng interest na I think it's very feasible now to look into yung ganitong large format. Kasi, ang high-end na mga DSLR din, umaabot na ng 200,000, body lang din yon.
Yes.
Okay, so actually, it's yung benefits ng medium format or large sensor na format ng GFX, very attractive na siya because of the following things, di ba? So, yung presyo, hindi na siya masyadong barrier, katulad na sinabi ni Neil yung kanina. Pangalawa, ang isang balakid niyan kasi yung size eh. Dati noon, napakalaki, ang hirap, bulky. Kaya pag nasa studio
pa
ka,
yun,
kailangan
the size of a medium format camera.
Right,
If you've seen
hawak-hawak mo, naka-tripod, ganyan, di ba? Etong GFX, parang kahit wala ka ng bag, pwede mo nang isabit lang sa strap, tapos pwede ka na mag-photo walk sa Quiapo. Huwag ka nga lang ma-hold up dahil 250,000 to.
Actually,
pero ganun
makikita
siya
mo talaga yung difference sa size. Makikita mo talaga yung difference sa size. Ang laki ng mga
Yes.
dating medium format cameras.
So that what makes yung GFX sort of interesting to me now. I think for the professionals din, it's actually very I think it's a good time na kasi gano'n na rin kamahal yung mga high-end na mirrorless full frame. So
Right.
why settle for full frame if you can be more than full frame, di ba?
Yun.
Iba talaga yung yung large sensor eh.
Okay. So I think-
Pa-review, Glenn, ha? Pag dumating, ha? Interesado na
Sige.
ako ngayon.
Iba talaga
Dati,
si Tito Ted.
Sige. So I think good jump off point yung discussion natin. Let's go naman to yung not just the image quality and the sensor size, pero let's also talk about yung body and yung other functionalities nung GFX. I think sabi nga ni Neil kanina, if you really look at it from the perspective of the other medium formats of the past, they were really very big and very cumbersome talaga kasi they were really
Studio talaga sila. They
meant
were
for the
just meant
studio.
to be in the
Exactly,
studio.
yes. What I like about the GFX system is that it's really not just image quality, pero we have mobility in mind as well. So we put very, very good performance. So in terms of performance, humahabol siya, I believe, with the very fast na other full frame cameras. Sige, before that, let's play siguro another GFX 50S2 video from last night para we can talk about the other features of the 50S2.
The GFX50S2 is equipped with IBIS, an in-body image stabilization system. The camera is also equipped with X-Processor 4, which boosts high-speed processing and a refined autofocus algorithm. Autofocus is smarter, more intelligent, and tougher. The camera keeps tracking the subject and captures that moment. In such scenario, the benefit of the tough autofocus algorithm by changing the sensor drive system in low light conditions, it is possible to capture faint light and perform accurate focusing. The IBIS unit also makes pixel shift multi-shot function possible. 16 images shifted by half pixel each result in single DMG file of 200 megapixel. Of course, there is no false color. You will be able to use all film simulations, including nostalgic neg. You can instantly select from as many as 19 unique and high-quality color reproductions. These are not the only attractive features of this system. In fact, the GFX50S2 comes with over 100 new features compared to its other 50 megapixel models.
Ayun. So I guess very noteworthy here, Sir Ted and Neil, no, is number one is yung IBIS, yung in-body image stabilization. And of course, number two, yung autofocus system. So again, I'm coming again from yung perspective of the other medium formats or the older medium format cameras ng ibang brands. Kasi medium format is not really known for performance or fast autofocus, or yung iba nga parang hindi pa nga very advanced yung yes yung they
Kasi
really,
sa laki
it's being used talaga for resolution talaga, no, and yung medium format look. But here what we're trying to do is bringing performance to the medium format system. So what let me know your thoughts about having IBIS and a very good autofocus system for the GFX.
Ako naman na magiging technical ngayon, Neil.
Sige, go.
Go ahead, go
Okay,
ahead.
sa IBIS, okay. So hindi naman technical. Actually, yung IBIS talaga, napakalaking ano niyan. Actually, yan ang isa sa most desired na feature na gusto ko rin. I have an XT3 now. So sana gusto ko rin magkaroon ng XT4, kaya lang wala pang budget dahil sa IBIS. Pero katulad mo, di ba, may XS10 na. Kaya I'm strongly considering yung XS10 kasi meron siyang IBIS in a lower cost package, no? So ang advantage kasi ng IBIS ganito. So for example, medyo madilim, no? Kung meron kang IBIS, kung ang reading mo, ang shutter speed mo, ang ISO mo kailangan 3,200. Okay? Ilang stops yung Glenn?
6.5.
Okay, so gawin na lang nating 6 times na lang. Mahirap mag-calculate ng 0.5 eh. So in terminology, no, sa photography kasi, pag sinabi mong stop, either dodoblihin mo or kakalahatiin mo yung exposure. Okay? So kung yung exposure mo is 3,200, yung ISO. Okay, so 6 yan, di ba? Okay, so from 3,200, kakalahatiin natin 1,600. Okay? So kakalahatiin natin yung 1,600, 800. Kakalatiin natin yung 800, 400. Kalatiin natin yung 400, 200. Kalatiin natin yung 100, ay yung 200, 100. So, hindi ko na itutuloy itong 5 dahil kung ang ISO mo 100, parang gusto mo bang mag-shoot ng 3,200 ISO or ISO 100? Siyempre 100, di ba? 5 stops pa lang yun, ha? 5 stops pa lang yun. So, kung kinalahati ko pa, 50. So, if you can shoot at ISO 50 because of the IBIS, kasi nga, kinokontra niya yung bakit ba hindi tayo, di ba? So, yun ang advantage nung may IBIS. Pero actually, yung IBIS, ina-apply siya sa, sa shutter speed eh. Ibig sabihin, pwede kang bumaba pa ng shutter speed. Mas madali lang kasing kwentahin yung ISO, kaya mas mahirap yung fraction eh. So hopefully nag-gets nyo yung magiging advantage nung 6 stops na So if you have a full frame camera, if you have a large format camera na ganyan, so siyempre pag nag-shoot ka ng mga ISO 100, grabe yung quality niyan.
Yes, I agree, Sir Ted. So I guess yun nga yung one of the main appeals, diba? Being able to shoot handheld with a large format camera. So yun yung, I think, one of the biggest appeals nung GFX50S2. How about you, Neil?
Actually, same thing lang naman. The IBIS is very important kasi parang when I tried the original GFX yung 50 without the IBIS, diba? It was, I could do a handheld shot. Siguro 1/60th. Pinaka-safe para sa akin. Not 1/60th.
Yeah.
Pero with the IBIS, I tried it with the GFX100S. I could have, pinaka-lowest ko ata I shot was 1/15th. 1/15th handheld yon with, I think the 30 mil. That's pretty good. Kasi considering na you also have to take into a fact na high resolution siya eh. Kasi mas unforgiving actually pag high resolution yung
Yes,
sensor.
exactly. Yes.
Kasi when you, kahit anong shake, makikita mo doon when you press the shutter. Pag high resolution, mas kita yung yung maliit na movement ng kamay mo.
Micro jitters.
Yung may mga micro jitters na gano'n. So,
Yung pasma.
yeah. Or for example, hindi ka na bata, di ba? Let's be honest, tayo, tumatanda na rin.
Ako medyo nanginginig na yung kamay ko.
Nanginginig na yung kamay
okay ka
mo.
pa? Oh.
Hindi, ako rin, medyo may konti na, hindi lang ganun ka-stable. So, pag ganun, or for example, let's be honest, stressful situation or very masikip kayo, nasa event kayo, masisikip, nagkakaurong push-pull kayo ng mga iba-ibang tao katabi mo. Yung mga ganun ba? So, malaking bagay yung nakakapag-shot ka at very low shutter speeds.
Yeah.
At na-prevent niya yung micro jitters na yun. Malaking tulong talaga yun for yung mga shots na hindi yung kumbaga parang hindi yung may time ka pa para ulitin. Yung mga once in a lifetime shots. For example, you're shooting, the GFX50S2, hindi naman siya for high speed subjects. Pero my point is, you can now feel a little bit safer when you're shooting in those types of situations na kailangan mo talaga na, kumbaga parang yung technique na lang yung kailangan mo makorek. The camera does everything else. Yun yung malaking bagay.
FYI lang, no, para sa mga ating audience, yung IBIS, actually, it's useful kung ang subject mo ay static. So, hindi ka pwedeng mag-IBIS kahit ibaba mo yung shutter speed ng mga ma-handhold mo siya ng 1/15, kaya lang yung subject mo gumagalaw, mag-blur pa rin yun. So, ideal siya sa static subjects.
Right, yun. And what I like also about the GFX system having IBIS na, especially with the 50S2 certed and wheel. Syempre, for example, dahil it's more now appealing to a wider audience. So for example, me, I travel abroad maybe the next year or in a few months, ganyan. And having a large format camera na may IBIS, parang I'm secured na parang I can get yung tack sharp na shots talaga. So I think it makes having all of these new and advanced features that's found in the X series, like yung IBIS and a very good autofocus system, makes it more appealing nga talaga to a lot more people.
Yeah, sabi nga ni Patricia Villegas, love ko ang IBIS ng XS10 ko. Okay, sa XS10 pa lang yan. Pag sa medium format yan, ako, mas grabe yan.
You also have to think about that, Tito Ted. Remember, yung XS10, it's an APS-C sensor. Yung ating GFX, it's a large medium format sensor.
Tapos
so,
50 megapixel pa.
Pati hindi, it's a lot harder to, kumbaga, to stabilize a larger sensor.
Right.
So, yung technology pa lang na yun, parang, let's be honest, saan ka ba makakahanap na iba pang medium format camera, digital, na may IBIS? I don't think na meron yung iba, diba? Or kung meron man, yung super expensive na. Yung, I think, from another...
So, on a practical sense siya for professionals, you can still shoot at low light without, hindi mo pa ilalabas yung tripod mo.
Yes.
And it gives you a lot of possibilities na to shoot more hours compared to kung walang IBIS yung yung camera mo.
We have a question daw from Tim Zion.
Okay.
So, Glenn,
good advantage po ba when IBIS and OIS combined? Yes, definitely. Kasi of course, they work well together, no? So, yung the IBIS found in your camera, so hardware siya, 'di ba? And then you have your OIS with your native na Fujinon lens. So, since they're compatible, they're native lenses, so body and lens, so they work well together to give you a very good stable na image.
Yeah. Can I answer also, Glenn?
Yes, go ahead.
So, Tim, based on my experience, no? So, yung combination is actually very good. Yung individual lang nga, yung halimbawa meron akong lente, I have like an X-T3, no? Pero wala siyang IBIS. Pero yung lente ko, may OIS siya. So, it helps. Okay? Pero meron naman, on the other situation naman, meron ako mga paboritong lente, katulad nung yung 16 to 55 na f2.8, wala naman siyang OIS. Okay? Pero magagamit mo siya sa video kung naka-X-T4 ka kasi nakokontra niya yung kahit wala kang OIS sa lente, pero kung may IBIS sa camera mo, that will help. Pero pag pinag-combine mo yung both, yun, tumataas yung yung number of stops
Yes.
to stabilize.
Yes, agree. Yon. Okay, so there's really a lot more features and information about the 50S2, but unfortunately we don't have the whole night. So siguro at this point, mag-move on na tayo to the next
Sige.
announcement that was made last night. Ito naman, bagong GF lens. Actually, bagong lens kit for the first time ng GFX. So let's watch this.
The GF 35 to 70 millimeter. This lens is the lightest GF zoom. The weight is only 390 grams. Although the size is very compact, the image quality has no compromise.
GF3570mm は小さなサイズに GFX の最高画質を詰め込んだレンズということです。MOD35cm というとても寄れるズームレンズなのですが、レンズ後部となる第3群をフォーカス群として設計することで、近接撮影のための移動マージンを確保しているのです。
Yun. So, we announced last night the new GF 35 to 70 na it's our lightest and our most compact zoom lens yet. Yan. So, Neil, Sir Ted, anong masabi niya dito sa lens? What are you excited about this announcement?
Kit lens with camera, medium format, only 1.3 kilos total kasi 900 yung yung
Body
50S2 yung body. Tapos yung lens na zoom lens is parang 390. So less than
390
1,290 to be precise, parang ganun. Grabing gaang nun Medium format na yung bit-bit mo, ganun lang, 1.3 kilos. Amazing.
Actually, Tito Ted, ang pinaka-interesting dyan is actually the price eh. Kasi, alam nyo naman guys, di ba, for the past several years, since the XT1, I think, yung 18 to 55 f2.8 to 4 na kit lens is one of my favorite kit lenses ever. Kasi when it came out, it was one of the few kit lenses na actual metal yung mount. And then, of course, yung high aperture yung f2.8 to 4. Bihira ka makahanap ng kit lens na f2.8 to 4 na bundled sa camera nung camera manufacturer. And up until now, actually before I got the X-T4 with the 16 to 8, it was the lens na palagi nakakabit sa camera ko. Kasi it was so flexible, pati the output is actually pretty good of course, nothing beats a prime. Pero for a zoom lens, yung quality ng lens na yun was pretty good. And as you know, if you've seen the GF lenses are actually built better than the XF lenses. So, pati expected na natin sa SRP niya na around 50K, I think, for the if you just buy the kit lens, the 35 to
70.
Yeah, 35 to 70. It's 55 by itself. Pero if you buy it with the new GFX50S2, ang laking discount. That's like around half ng price ng lens, you get it with the body. And it's a very useful focal length. It's 35 to 70, so that's like 20 to 50,
Yes.
I think.
28 to 55.
28 to 55.
yeah.
That's actually very useful focal length. Kumbaga parang it's wide enough for some cases. For street photography, 28 is actually a very good wide angle for street photography. And then parang the longer 55, that's actually pretty good. Very versatile na yung range na yun. Isa pa dyan, it's 4 to 5.6, di ba?
4.5 to 5.6.
4.5 to
Oh,
5.
yun ang tanong
Actually,
ko, Glenn. Kasi
Yes,
yung
sir,
sabi
go
niya,
ahead.
di ba, 4.5 lang saka 5.6.
mm-mm.
Pero pag sinabi mong 4.5 sa medium format, ano ba mga equivalent nito sa full frame? Hindi siya 4.5, di ba? Yung
Hindi,
bokeh
sir.
niya?
Yes, oo, hindi. I don't have lang the exact, I don't know the exact
Oo.
talaga na how, the equivalent na. Pero,
Oh. Parang
siguro
magiging
if-
siguro approximately mga 2.8, ganyan.
hindi naman
Hindi,
siguro, sir.
hindi. Mga 3.2 siguro.
3
Oh,
Mga
ganyan.
3.2 or something.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, that's one thing that you have to think rin eh. It's not just kung kumbaga parang iniisip mo yung pag 16mm mo is actually wider yung field of view. It's not just the field of view that's becoming wider. It's also your f-stop. Parang mas
right, yeah.
mas mataas yung f-stop mo. It looks for example, yung 100 to 200 f5.6 na zoom ni GF. When I use that thing, normally if you think of an f5.6 para madilim siya. No. It performs like an f4 na zoom.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Right.
just okay. It's perfect actually. I took that around with me in San Francisco I stayed in San Francisco for 4 days extra. Kasi I was sent for a trip there and I brought it with me along with the GFX50R. I was shooting with that lens more than I was shooting with the other one that I brought. Kasi sobrang gaan niya. Mas magaan pa siya dun sa 50 to 140.
It is. Oh, actually, it's very light.
And so it's actually like that. You have to also reverse your it's not just a reverse crop, it's also a reverse aperture kumbaga.
Right, yeah. Ako naman, personally, Neil and Sir Ted, what I like about yung this new kit lens, no, yung 35 to 70. Parang it's a good entry point to the world of medium format, large format photography kasi number one, it's very versatile kasi yun nga, you get a very good range. Tapos number two, I believe it's very silent as well kasi meron siyang parang stepping motor inside. So if you zoom it in, zoom it out, or habang nag-autofocus ka, it's very, very quick and very silent. Tapos, what I like, interesting din yung nilagay nilang parang feature na very close focusing distance. So you can really shoot close up sa mga subjects mo. And that really parang brings you into the world of medium format. And and isa pa nga, napakagaan niyang dalhin. Imagine having that lens and the GFX50S2 and having to carry it all day. Parang feeling ko kayang-kaya naman. Kayang-kaya. Hindi
So
siya
maganda siyang
cumbersome
pang-travel.
yes, travel talaga. So marami na ako na-imagine ng mga
Oh.
mga mahilig mag-travels dyan. So yun, perfect talaga yung
Sir Glenn.
that kit lens option. Yes, Sir Ted.
Meron lang kasing si Miss Grace Orbon na ngayon nasa Norway yata,
Yes.
Norway if I'm correct. So yan kasi ang specialty niyan is portraiture. So sa palagay mo, using this lens as kumbaga yung kit lens na 250,000 with the camera and the lens. So pwede na bang pang-racket ng portraiture? So kasi mga parang F4, will it be bokehilicious already?
For me, yes, I believe. Kasi of course, having also a large sensor that will also determine, your bokeh. And of course, yung the range, when you zoom it in nga, 'di ba? If you do the 70mm end dun sa telephoto end niya, I think that's already possible. So Grace, pwede
Actually,
yan.
oo, kasi if you think about it, because mas malawak yung field of view mo, pwede ka lumapit. Di ba, pag mas malapit ka sa subject, mas blur out yung background, di ba?
Yes, mas defined yung
Oo. So parang the same thing. If you go, kumbaga parang because aside from the dual yung exponential yung pagkaganda ng bokeh niya. Kasi because you have a larger sensor, you have a larger field of view. Pwede ka mas lumapit. Dahil pag mas malapit ka, you still have the same field of view of a 50, for example, a 55. Pero 70 talaga yung focal length mo. You will also have the compression of a 70. Of a 70, pero you have a field of view of a 55. So parang mas malapit ka na,
Yes.
nag-expound yung kumbaga yung overall look mo for portraiture if you're talking about portraiture or if you're looking for a
Okay,
subject
so-
na ganun. Yun yung
So
isang
for 250,000, pwede ka na magkaroon ng kit for a corporate shoot.
Yes.
Okay? So pwede ka na mag half body na mga corporate shots, full shots. So pwede ka na mag-charge ng 100K. So ROI kagad in 3 shoots lang.
iba talaga si Ted.
Oh, I know people who are charging actually mga 80 to 100K yung mga corporate shoots na one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hindi kasi dadali mo pa yung mga gamit eh. Tapos may assistant ka pa, the lights.
Yeah.
Yung mga stuff.
yeah.
Hindi, it's not just, yun yung aside from the camera itself. It's also not about
Yeah.
just the talent fee.
Oh,
That's,
siguro mga
kumbaga
6
parang-
na shoots. Wag naman 3, no? 6 na shoots, ROI ka na.
Yun.
Bili na
Okay.
tayo, Neil.
Okay. So, thank you, Sir Ted and Neil. So, now naman, so tapos na tayo sa GFX announcement from last
Yeah.
night. Again, i-recap ko lang. We announced the new GFX50S2. So, it's a 50 megapixels na medium format. But you get as well in-body image stabilization in a very compact body. Tapos may bagong kit lens, the GF35 to 70.
Mhm.
So it's a compact na and our lightest zoom lens yet. So okay, so after yung GFX system, meron din kaming naging announcements na new XF lens. So punta naman tayo sa APS-C system, yung X-series system. So I'm sure maraming mga nanonood natin tonight that are also very excited about this new announcement of these new lenses. So panoorin muna natin to our first lens announcement from last night.
Allow us to introduce XF33mm f1.4.
切れ味、つまりシャープさがこのレンズのテーマです。そのために今回の設計では非常に多くの枚数のレンズを使って丁寧に周差を取っていきました。このレンズ構成図を見ていただくとわかりますが、第1群に6枚、第2群にも6枚、第3群に3枚と計15枚ものレンズを使っています。多くのレンズ枚数を使ってもユニットとしては重量を軽くすることができます。この軽量フォーカシングユニットが高画質と高速 AF の両立に貢献しているのです。この XF33mm f1.4 とは標準画角のレンズです。そのためにはつまりどんな被写体、どんな距離にも対応できなければなりません。インフから MOD までスピーディーにピントが合い、どのレンジでも
We truly believe that this new standard f1.4 lens
Ayun. So new standard. So siguro before we go specific to that lens. So gusto ko lang i-share na I think for this year we're really updating our 1.4 lineup. So sinimulan namin yan with the 18mm na 1.4. And it's really updated in terms of optics, resolution, in terms of autofocus as well kasi meron siyang LM, so linear motor, so mabilis, and close-up shooting. And now, we are introducing a new lens to our lineup, yung 33 na 1.4. So it's the true 50mm kasi yung conversion na talaga times 1.5, it's really the 50mm. So any thoughts, Sir Ted and Neil?
Sir Glenn, alam mo ano yung pinaka ayokong lente sa Fuji lineup?
Ano, sir?
Yung 35mm f1.4.
Bakit?
Bakit?
Ha?
Sir Ted?
Kasi dahil dyan natalo ko sa isang contest, hindi ko napanalunan yung hard disk. Kasi yung
talaga?
isang kilala mo si Rapi, yung isang vlogger na pre natin.
Si
Tech
Raul
Patrol.
Pedrahita.
Oo,
Saan
ang lang ako nun 18 to 55 na 2.8-4. Siya naka 35mm f1.4. So, grabe yung bokeh nung 35mm 1.4. So, kaya ayoko yung lente na yung masama loob ko sa lente na yun. Oo. So,
talaga.
so with this 33 tapos 1.4, wow. I think it's kasi ang problema ro sa mga older lenses, 'di ba, yung pag sa video medyo mabagal yung focus niya. Tapos yung medyo maingay din siya ng konti.
Maingay, yes. May sound pag nag-ano ka nag-focus.
So pero this one na 1.4, definitely it will be a new lens for the videographers ng ng X mount system. So ang ganda niyang ang ganda niyang talaga nung bokeh ng 1.4 tapos yung sa 33. I think isa sa desirable lens na yan na dadagdag ko na talaga sa wishlist ko yan.
Gano'n na ba kahaba ang wishlist mo, Titid, ha?
Ha?
Gano'n na ba
Dami
kahaba
na
ang
sorted
wishlist
yung
mo?
wishlist mo.
Wag na nating discuss baka matagalan tayo.
Ako din. Pero ako naman, I'm same thoughts actually. I'm just very excited with the 3314. Kasi parang we saw how Fujifilm updated the 18 millimeter. Tapos also alongside this is yung 3514 original. It's one of the 3 lenses na lumabas with the X Pro, the Hers X Pro 1.
Yes, oo.
And honestly, actually, yun yung nakikita ko. The 3514 was so well loved, even though it had its flaws. Kasi diba, it was one of the first lenses. Maingay nga siya, may ganyan. Pero people still loved the look of yung rendition ng image ng lens na yun. There was just something about it. Hopefully, Fujifilm was able to remake the magic, pero in a body na slightly bigger. Pero meron tayong linear motor. Tapos meron tayong weather resistance. Kasi let's be honest,
weather sealed. Totoo.
Oo. Kasi let's be honest, gusto natin ng weather resistance. When we go out, when we travel, we want to make sure na our equipment can take a beating. Hindi naman yung bugbog na bugbog, pero at least can work at certain conditions. Kasi I've heard stories some cameras they went to Iceland or Greenland data. Basta it was negative something. Like some of the cameras did not work. Pero yung mga X series and then the GFX series, they still worked. Kasi parang if you look at the specs, all of the Fujifilm cameras right now can work up to -10. Basta weather resistant.
-10.
Celsius That's actually pretty impressive. Malaking bagay yun.
So, I guess yun nga yung the old 35 1.4 for me it's one of our legacy lenses kasi it's one of the oldest pero yun nga tama kanila it's very much well loved by a lot of people kasi it's very
ako lang ang hindi may love dyan sa 35.
si Sir Ted meron kasing bad
traumatic ang
experience.
experience.
Pero at least hindi naman sa sir dahil sa lens mismo yung may may external factors naman.
Hindi, magaling talaga yung photographer na yun. Si Tech Patrol, si Sir Rapi.
So I guess it has a very big shoes to fill, no? But yun nga having new technologies na available now sa 2021, I'm pretty sure you still get, that well-loved sharpness ng 33 1.4. But at the same time, having faster AF tapos yun nga weather sealing as well. And yung
balita ko yung micro contrast, Sir Glenn. Talagang ang ganda raw ng micro contrast.
Yes.
Panalo.
Actually, it's a very important
rendition.
thing. Yeah. Very important yan.
Ano ba Neil yung micro contrast? Pakipaliwanag nga.
It's very hard to explain actually.
GIZGUIDE,
Micro contrast kasi is pag kunwari if you take a picture of a log, tapos parang nailawan yung log. Di ba yung logs kasi madami mga lines and grain or whatever. Madami mga shadow siya na different shades of gray. Makikita mo, kumbaga parang dahil dun sa different shades of gray, parang nakikita mo na may depth talaga yung log or yung image mo. Same thing. So if your lens has a very good micro contrast, kaya niya i-render yun sa sensor. So you can really have an image na parang may seemingly real depth sa mata ng tao. Pag kasi sobrang corrected naman yung lens mo, sobrang daming optics, nababawasan kasi yung quality ng light. Each time na a light hits a lens, nababawasan yung quality ng information na pumapasok sa sensor kasi ang dami yung dinadaanan. So, the better quality the lens, tapos para mas konti yung elements, mas may chance na mas maganda yung micro contrast mo. At dahil doon, pag may nakikita ba kayong image? Kasi ito yung pinakamaganda example. When you look at an image, meron kasi mga images kayo nakikita na parang it pops out of the screen or the print ng there was something about an image na parang lumalabas siya sa frame. Kung printed ba siya or sa monitor mo, usually, pag maganda yung macro contrast ng lens mo, yung rendition nun, dahil dun sa mga gradations ng different shades,
Right.
talagang yung, nakukuha talaga niya, napipinpoint niya yung shades na yun, talagang lumalabas yung depth ng image. Kaya pag minsan, parang almost like holographic, pero not exactly. Pero parang ganun,
Right.
very important siya.
And I guess having the fourth generation sensor and processor, so yung glass, yung optics that's inside the new 33 now is able to resolve yung all the power that's inside the newer cameras of Fujifilm. So definitely you'll have way better image quality as well. Okay. So aside from that, meron pang isang update ulit from the 1.4 na lens lineup ni Fuji. So let's watch this video.
This is the new XF23mm f1.4. The basic concept of the optics is the same as XF33mm, which Taiga explained. By bringing rich number of lens elements in the first, second, third group, the lens controls the various aberrations optically. Also by downsizing and saving the weight for the focus lens group, it realizes quick and accurate focusing, and the third group works for correcting the aberration. As a result, this lens depicts extremely sharp and clear image from its MOD to infinity. By this latest optical design, the image quality has improved massively. The autofocus speed became faster, and the minimum shooting distance has become closer as up to 19 cm. Addition to this, the lens has the weather-resistant structure. This lens will be another standard lens for all X-mount users.
Yun.
Okay, so did they change
Yeah, go
anything
ahead, Neil.
optically? Did they change anything optically? Or is it the same formula from the original 24mm, 23
I
millimeter?
think there were changes from dun sa optics niya. So I guess really better optics with the new 23 na Mark II.
Actually, kasi di ba parang I think the 23 rin is also, parang meron siya mga fans, yung 23 f1.4, di ba? Alam ko may mga fans yan sa mga X-series users. Eh. So parang, they really like the lens. Pero as time went on, parang they also wanted weather resistance pati a linear motor.
Yes,
Kasi parang the
right.
older
Yeah.
lenses still use stepper motor. Eh.
Yeah.
It's, mas maganda. Although the size of a lens will get bigger, kasi dahil sa linear motor, medyo mas bibigat siya. Medyo mas maganda, mas swabe kasi yung pag-transition ng linear motors. Eh. So parang,
Right.
at least, it's great that Fujifilm is actually updating the lens, improving on the optical quality. Tapos parang they're also adding the features that we come to expect, which is weather resistance, high aperture, tapos a wide aperture pala, and then linear motor. Kasi malaking tulong talaga yung linear motor rin eh.
Yeah.
For video also, aside from very fast stills acquisition.
And ito now, you can shoot closer talaga.
O yun nga, na-distract ako sa 19 eh. Nung nakita ko yung 19, kinuha ko itong
pressure,
video na
ah.
to eh. Oh, 19.
Sobrang lapit.
Wala pa isang dangkal
19
to eh.
cm?
Oh, 19
That's
cm
7
is
inches.
equivalent
Actually,
to...
sobrang lapit yan.
Oo.
7.5 inches.
Oo. So wala pa isang
Very
dangkal. Oh.
close. Actually, very close.
Very
Very
close.
close
So
na yun.
pwede kang mag-shoot ng ganong kalapit.
Mas malapit na siya sa 16.
Para natuloy ako sa screen nito.
Or
Actually,
magkalapit.
may
Kasi
medida pa
more or
akong
less
dala eh.
parang 16 niya. Mga
Yeah.
ganon.
Ganda oh. Actually, yun ang kaya gusto ko rin yung 16 nun dahil sa minimum
Actually,
focusing
sobrang
distance
lapit
eh.
nung I had the 16. I still in my drive box. I haven't used it in a long time, pero nandiyan lang siya.
Actually nga yung meron kami nakita isang bilag, merong pinakitang isang bilag sa akin si Azrael nung yung dalawang artista nagbibilag sila sa kotse. Hindi ko nababanggitin yung pangalan. Pero kung minsan tinututok niya yung video niya, sabi ko malamang to 16mm to kasi
sobrang lapit.
ganong kalapit dikit eh, di ba? So yung isang dangkal lang, that brings a lot of possibilities pag sa video, saka sa
Exactly,
photo.
yes.
Yung minimum focusing distance na yan.
Ayun.
Yun
Alright.
lang.
So yun, so
Sabi
exciting.
ko na
So
itong
again,
medida ko.
so again, two new exciting XF lenses. So para sa mga nagbabalak magbumili and mag-upgrade ng lenses dyan. So please watch out for the XF33 1.4 and of course the XF23 1.4 RWR na lens. All right. So we're now on the tail end of of the X-Summit announcement. So meron lang a few more parang added announcements last night. These are not new products yet, not official announcements, but parang these are roadmap announcements. So the future of the lens lineup ni GFX and ni XF lens. So let's watch this video.
I'm Yuji Igarashi. I'm really excited to introduce some of the GF lenses currently under development. The best way to describe the first lens is more bokeh than full frame. It is the GF55mm f1.7 with a slight wide angle of view equivalent to 44mm in 35mm format. You will be able to enjoy the three-dimensional feel which can only be created by the combination of the large format sensor, extreme details of the captured subject, and the beautiful defocused background. Now, the concept of the second lens is more information than full frame. It is the GF20 to 35mm. Yes, we are developing the widest angle zoom lens within the GF lens family. 20mm is equivalent to 16mm in 35mm format and has an angle of view of 107 degrees. The vast vision and overwhelming amount of information that can be captured by this lens is a perfect match with the GFX. And last, but of course not least, is the lens that can satisfy more professionals. I am pleased to announce that we are finally developing our first tilt-shift lens for our GFX system. GFX system is already being used by many professional photographers from various fields with our existing GF lens lineup. Tilt-shift lens was desired by many of those photographers and by many of you who are watching this event. Currently, we have 13 GF lenses for the GFX system. To add to this, we will have the GF35 to 70mm, which we officially announced today, as well as the GF55mm f1.7, GF20 to 35mm, and the tilt shift lens, which we shared the information. This makes it 17 lenses in total. Please keep an eye on the future development of the GFX system.
Ayun. So really expanding rapidly yung GF lens lineup. So, any thoughts?
And when did we launch the GFX line? What year?
2016.
2016, diba? So in what? 5 years? We have 17 lenses?
17, exactly.
Grabe. Oh, so, pero actually, I'm excited about all of them. Kasi parang we wanted something wider. And a wide zoom is one of the most useful lenses you can have eh. Having the 20 to 35, 16 to I think 20 something. Malaking bagay yun kasi parang I think one of the bigger customer base of the GFX line are architectural pati landscape photographers.
Yes, landscape.
Having a wide zoom and then a tilt shift lens is very big. For those syempre sila rin yung actually malalaking mga binabayaran na malaki. Yung mga on assignment na for example, real estate photography for tilt. Kasi malaking bagay yun eh. If you don't know what a tilt shift lens is, a tilt shift lens allows you to move certain parts of the camera para ma-eliminate mo yung unwanted pagkaslant. Kasi di ba, if you're taking pictures of a building or an interior of a building or trees, mag-a-angle no matter what you do, mag-a-angle yung mga puno or yung mga lines because of the natural curve kasi design of the image of the camera itself, yung optics and how light works. Pero with a tilt shift lens, you can actually make them straight. That's why may makita kang shots ng architecture or interiors na straight yung lines that you can never do with your camera phone or with your normal lenses. You need a tilt shift lenses. And yung mga gumagamit ito, usually, yung mga commercial, architectural, landscape photographers na who are being paid to be able to have that effect. And let's be a majority of the GFX people who can afford it and who are using the GFX want these lenses. Yung wide zoom and then the tilt shift. So I'm very excited kasi parang I've always gusto ko lang makatry muna. I can't afford the tilt shift kasi if you look at other brands, their tilt shift lenses are one of the most expensive in the line aside from those super long super telephotos. Ito yung mga talagang mga super niche lenses.
Oh,
And it's also,
specialty lenses talaga.
so I'm very excited about that. Also excited din ako dun sa 55 na f1.7. So that's like 55 1.3 something. So parang
Yeah.
44 millimeter equivalent na f1.
Yan. Sabi
It's gonna be
ni
good
Jay-
for portrait. Good for portrait.
Yeah, the 55 1.7 looks really good. It does.
Wala
But
pa.
yes, you'll have to wait a few years more for that. Yeah.
Exciting talaga ako do sa excited ako do sa tilt shift lens talaga kasi actually for the professionals,
Yes.
isa
it
sa
is.
selection yan eh. Actually,
Oo.
a lot of professional photographers, they also consider kung ano yung available na lens. So for architectural photographers, kumbaga kung kailangan nila yung tilt shift lens, malaking addition sa line ng ng Fuji.
Actually, I've seen GFX users na nag-a-adapt sila ng ibang brand
Yes.
na tilt shift just to be able, pero they want the medium format body. Pero since Fujifilm doesn't have a native one yet, they adapt other brands' lenses. Well, hopefully soon, meron na silang
Soon, yeah.
native lens for that.
Definitely. soon, yeah.
2023?
2023,
Kailan ba, Glenn,
sir.
ang-
Yes.
Oh,
2023.
Malapit na
na.
yun?
Malapit
Ilang buwan
na,
na ba tayo?
actually.
September months na tayo.
Oo.
Yeah. Okay, and then we also showed a preview of the XF lens roadmap. So please watch this.
For the future XF lens, we will expand these options wider and longer. The first lens that is planned to come is the Super Telephoto Zoom XF 150 to 600 mm. This lens is under development, and we will share the schedule and details in our future X-Summit events. Our third concept is seamless still and movie. Now that many customers seamlessly enjoy capturing stills and movies, future lenses should be engineered to support both purposes. Although, since the shooting style is different for still and movie, there is no system that are perfectly optimized for both at the moment. Today, we introduce a new generation lens which has an interface for the new shooting style. It means the lens works seamlessly for both still shooting and movie shooting. The new lens name will be XF 18 to 120 mm.
Ayun.
Yun.
Natutuwa ako dun sa
Exciting.
dalawang lenses na yun. Kasi parang if you look
Yes,
at those, parang yung schematics na kulay puti, you'll look at very interesting. Can we have that on screen right now? Yung schematic, yung white schematic ng both lenses. Can we have that on screen? Yung
Sige,
nag-post
we'll
dun
try
sa...
to...
Kasi if you look closely, exciting to actually. I saw some very interesting stuff. We should point that out.
Or sige, let's play it kasi naka-upload siya
Yeah,
here
yeah,
sa
yeah.
ating So
Oh.
let's
Sige,
just
sige. Can we
quickly
post
play
it a
again?
specific event?
Yeah. Okay. So we're waiting for the
For the
vid-
future XF lens, we will expand these options wider and longer. The first lens that is planned to come is the Super Telephoto Zoom XF 150 to 600 mm. This lens is under development, and we will share the schedule and details in our future X-Summit events.
Ayun, so if you look closely at that one, pag nakita mo yung leg niya, mayroon na siyang dovetail kagad. That's actually very important for a telephoto zoom, a super zoom. Kasi parang my 50 to 140 doesn't have a dovetail, pero the 200 f2 meron siyang dovetail,
Meron
so you
siya.
can quickly attach it to a quick release system. Aside from that, if you look closely dun sa parang yung alam niyo yung focus parang focus selection dun sa macro, sa 80mm macro, pati dun sa super telephoto natin. Yung pwede ka lang mag-zoom at a specific range.
Right.
Parang if
May
you look close at
limiter.
an image, may tatlo siyang switch, tapos meron siyang sa taas, meron parang, ayun, actually it's a good shot over there. If you look closely, dun sa may tatlong switches, tapos may bilog tayo sa ilalim, tapos meron tayong parang rectangle dun sa taas. I've never seen that switch on an XF lens before. That could be a customizable button or
Yeah,
something new.
probably a customizable.
Yun yung mga, actually that's what excites me. What could those be? It's the same for the next lens. If you look closely, the next lens, meron rin siyang ganyan. Meron mga bagong parang switch or something na hindi ko pa nakikita sa ibang XF lens, which is very exciting. Can we look at the other one, the next one? Sorry team na bigla lang ako.
Okay lang.
Pero kasi ngayon, naka-excite siya kasi I mean, hindi pa to sure. Pero the mere fact na meron
Design
silang
pa lang.
design na
Yes.
ganon, ibig sabihin may plan na sila for that, for whatever purpose that is. Sana
Ako
nga.
naman for the 18 to 200 na, yung sabi nga it's really made for both stills and movies na, no. So I like that, slowly embracing na two different fields, no, videos and photos, pero into one
This is
lens
for
talaga.
2023 ang di ba? Ang 18 to 120. What
Ay,
year?
sorry?
Anong year siya expected? Meron na ba sinabi doon?
Wala pa, they didn't say kung
They didn't say.
when
Okay,
pa.
okay. Ayan, so ito rin, look at this. If you look at the normally we have a zoom ring, an aperture ring, and then pero there, I don't know, para meron tayong pangatlong ring. Ewan ko kung ring yan or whatever. I don't know what that is yan. Yung rubber na makita. Usually we have a zoom ring, then an aperture ring. Pero parang we have a third smaller one. I don't know kung ring talaga yan or whatever.
Hindi siya buo.
Oo, pero hindi siya buo, di ba? So, what could that be? Tapos yung katabi niya, may makikita tayong parang yung bilog kanina, pati yung rectangle kanina dun sa isang lens kanina, the longer one. Yung super zoom natin. Tapos parang, meron rin tayo ditong parang hindi naman siya switch. Hindi naman siya So, what could they be? Kumbaga
Isa
parang
sa
are we
suspicion
seeing...
ko, Neil, kasi usually, di ba, ang nauuna is focus, susunod zoom, yung pangatlo is aperture.
Pero bakit hindi siya
Okay,
buo? Di ba usually yung
so-
aperture ring?
Yeah. Anong kaibahan ng aperture sa video saka sa photo? So sa video, yung tinatawag na
T-stop, di ba?
T-stops.
T-stop.
Yeah. And then yung variability. Yung kumbaga wala kang notches, 'di ba yung variable yung aperture mo? I think it
Actually.
might have something to do na nanguhula lang ako.
Baka,
Kasi sinabi
pwede.
nila Voigt
Pwede siya, baka
Pero-
digital na siya.
Or
Baka
baka
digital na
sabi,
siya.
sabi nung back end, baka clickless aperture? Maybe.
Hindi, actually, it's one
yun,
of the options
clickless.
na pwede.
Hindi, pero yung clickless aperture pwede pa rin buo yun eh. Yun lang kung
pwede pa rin
bakit siya
buo.
hindi
Para-
buo.
Yeah.
Oo.
So,
Yun ang
yung
mystery.
Yeah. This is very exciting kasi we've never seen that part of a lens in any Fujifilm lens yet. I don't think I've seen it yung on a GF or an XF lens, which is exciting.
Oh.
Kasi parang if they're both designed for both stills and video, baka Fujifilm is trying something new. Dalawang lenses to, and usually pag nasa roadmap siya, ibig sabihin within the next 2 to 3 years ang dating niya. Hopefully, totoo nga. Which is very exciting.
May tanong lang ako, Sir Glenn.
Yes, sir.
So, will this be a sort of parang add-on sa MK series? Will it be tagged as an MK series? Or it's a totally new line? Kasi pag sinabi mong MK, it's more for the video eh. Pero ito, combination eh.
Yes. I guess, Sir Ted, it's still under the XF lens lineup. Kasi otherwise, they would have marked it as a MK
Oo.
lens.
Pero I
So,
love the
pero-
the range.
Yes, I guess ito, yung the new generation na they're really parang good for both stills and movies na. Siguro yun na yung
Oo.
Pero ang layo nung range niya, no? 18 to 120.
18 to 2.
Ang layo, no?
Yeah.
Sana,
Pero pa rin yan kasi requirement sa video, 'di ba, dapat yung siya, what you call that, yung para focal ba yung para yung habang nagzo-zoom in ka, hindi dapat nagbabago yung focus
bago
niya,
yung
'di ba?
focus, yes.
Hindi rin, wala rin focus breathing, kumbaga. Kasi parang there's distracting din sa
Yeah.
pag,
So,
pag full focus.
Exciting.
We'll see. Yes, in a few years. So everyone watch out for these
So
new
this maybe
lineup.
will add yung parang malaking tulong to sa ating mga indie filmmakers.
Yun, yes.
So if you can shoot with something like yung XT4 na ang galing nung HLG niya, ang grabe yung pag nag color grading ka, tapos with this siguro mas mura tong lente na to compared to the MK series. So this will
Maybe, I
be
think so,
sort of
yes.
affordable for our indie
Yes.
filmmakers.
Right. Yeah.
Excited
So-
ako kasi dyan, Sir Glenn, kasi one thing na baka hindi nyo alam is I help a lot in producing yung mga student na indie films.
Right. Yeah.
Kaya panay ang hirap ko sa ng
si
lente.
Tito Ted, Ibang-iba si Tito Ted talaga.
So hiramin namin yan pag dumating, i-test natin sa indie film.
Ayan. So yun nga, sabi nga nung nag-comment, we have yet to find out. So yes, of course, there might still be changes in the technology or kahit yung itsura. But definitely we're going that direction already.
Oh,
Okay,
excited
and
na
then-
si Ellie.
Oo nga sir, nakita ko nga.
Oh.
Alright, so there's just one more na parang surprise announcement from last night. So let's just quickly talk about it. Then after that, we'll end na this Facebook Live for tonight.
Like always, we have one last topic at the very end to share with you.
In 2022, which is the 10th anniversary of X system, not only are we preparing new lenses, but we will introduce the next generation devices and the flagship camera.
What is the new device? A bit of a hint would be stacked BSI CMOS sensor with X transfilter array. We can't wait to share more information about the exciting cameras for next year.
See you all in our next X Summit.
Yun.
You know what I
Yung
love about that, Tease?
generation.
You know what I love about that, Tease?
Yes, go ahead, Neil.
Kasi parang, if you look at other manufacturers, they've already released a camera with a stacked BSI sensor. And the apparent talagang a bonus for a stacked sensor is the readout speed. Kasi if you have a faster readout speed, you can have higher resolution for the sensor itself. Also, you would be able to reduce yung ating rolling shutter. Kasi how a sensor reads out perks is parang pag ganun siya. So may mga lines, kaya nagkaka-wobble siya kasi nahuhuli yung mga nasa ilalim.
Jelly.
Yeah. So parang because of a faster readout, that would actually help eliminate the jello effect. Pero of course, because it's a stacked BSI sensor, you're getting more data because of the high resolution and faster readout. You will need a more powerful processor. Hopefully, we also get a new processor as well kasi you need that power to be able to process all of that along with an IBS mechanism pa. Well, we'll see.
Yes. We'll see.
Sabi nga ni Migs, baka yan na raw yung panlaban sa Red Komodo.
Iba naman kasi ang ibang category ang Red Komodo. Pero for people who are in the price range siguro. Kasi parang let's be honest, the Red Komodo is up there. Kung yung main body pa lang is also very expensive. Pero kumbaga parang you also have to buy the ecosystem. Pero for somebody who just wants a one camera, tingnan natin. I'm actually very excited. Actually, ito yung inaabangan ko. If you guys remember Lucky and Walter, they messaged me like a couple of days ago. Sabi sa akin, Neil, may bago bang ilalabas si Fujifilm? Kasi parang gusto niya daw, kasi parang he wants to upgrade his X-T30. Parang siguro daw sa dami ng work niya, he wants to upgrade. Sabi ko, di ko alam bro wala pa akong idea. Ngayon, tinis na tayo. Sabi ko, hold off ka muna bro, watch mo muna yung Fujifilm sa X-Summit event. Ayun. We'll see.
Yun. We'll see. Okay. So,
Yun ang pinakabitin na parte, Sir
okay, go
Glenn,
ahead,
yung
sir.
announcement na yun. Marami nagalit. Nabitin daw sila.
Yun yung patikim for the future of the X-series system.
Mm-mm.
But
But
I guess
mabilis lang yan. Mabilis na lang yan. We're already a few months away from
yes.
2022.
And yun nga, time flies so fast. So it's the 10th year anniversary na of the X-series next year. So I believe the system has matured na talaga, and but definitely mas marami pang new technologies that we can bring in with the X-series system, and pati doon nga sa mga new lenses. Okay, so that's about it for the X-Summit Prime 2021 event that we had last night. So before we end this Facebook Live, so again, just a quick recap. We've talked about exciting new products, new product announcements from Fujifilm. So we announced a new medium format camera. It's the GFX50S II. It's a 50 megapixel na medium format in a compact body with in-body image stabilization. And we released yung bagong GF35 to 70 na kit lens, our most compact and lightest kit lens yet, zoom lens yet. Tapos we also released two new lenses, yung XF33 1.4 tsaka yung XF23 na 1.4. And then of course we announced new lens roadmap for the GFX and the X series at yung bagong future sensor ng X series lineup. Okay, but before that, we have a few announcements from our end sa Fujifilm Philippines. So I'll just wait for my cue card here. Okay, so sa mga nagtatanong, what are the prices of the new products? So very, very competitive actually. So again, dun sa discussion natin kanina with, of course, Neil and Sir Ted, if you really look at it sa price point, it's really one of the good major key point nung the announcement of the new 50S2, kasi malapit na siya dun sa price point ng other high-end full frame mirrorless camera. So it's really something that you can already consider. So the 50S2 body is 223,990. And the GFX 50S2 with kit is 251,990. So yun nga, sabi nga ni Sir Ted kanina, at 250 you already have a very good medium format na package. Ayan. Okay. And the next one, please. So, pero if you're already a GFX user, kagaya ni Sir JM kanina, nakita ko here sa ating comment section. So if you'd like to purchase the GF lens, the new GF lens separately, the price is 55,990. So really, really good competitive price. And the next one, for the new lens, the 33 1.4, the SRP is 45,990, and the 23 1.4 is yan.
How much is the original 35 and 23 millimeter right now?
It escapes my mind right now. So no, it's 32,990. Sabi
Also for how much is that? For like 13,000 pesos, you're getting a weather sealing, tapos parang linear motor autofocus. I think it's a very good deal.
Pwede ng pang-video.
Yes.
But
So
all
I
of
guess-
the conveniences, yeah.
Exactly. Yes, with all the new technologies that's in the new lens, I think it's worth the price. Okay, and the next one, please. And okay, so we are announcing tonight our local launch of the new products. So on September 9, we are launching the new GFX50S2, the new lenses, uh, on September 9, 2021 via Facebook Live. So yeah, so please watch out. The event will be entitled The Next Gen. So of course, we invite you to discover the next generation ng Fujifilm cameras and lenses. And marami tayong mga guests that were able to try out the 50S2 and the new lenses. So if you want to know more kung paano ba yung experience, so I guess yun nga yung important now, Sir Ted and Neil, diba, na how we know about the new products, we read about them, pero we want, of course, to know yung experience ng mga nakagamit na. Yan. So, of course, we'll have ex-photographer John Gonzalez. We'll have Noel Guevara. So, he's a conservation photographer. We also have Dukay. So, he's a fashion photographer. And, of course, Brian Kong. So, he is a hobbyist who is a GFX 50S user and also another brand user. So we'll be able to get their insights, no, coming from, of course, different brands as well. Kung paano, kung more than full frame nga ba talaga yung GFX 50S2. And of course, we'll also be able to check out their output as well. And then for the new XF lenses, of course, we'll have ex-photographer Magic Liwanag for the 23 1.4. And a very talented photographer, si Aya Kabawatan, for the 33 1.4.
I think I've seen her work, si Aya. Amazing
She is
work.
very
Very
good.
unique
Yes.
and very beautiful yung work niya.
Ayan. All right. So, that's it for tonight. So, before we end, okay, we have pre-order announcement pala. Okay. So, if you'd like to pre-order, if you'd like to be the first one na magkaroon ng 50S2, so we have GFX 50S2 pre-order that's gonna start from September 9 to 25. So ano ba yung, pag nag-pre-order kayo ng 50S2, what will you get? So first, you'll get a free battery, NPW235, that's worth 3,990. And then you also get another freebie, BCW235. So yun yung dual battery charger. And then of course you'll get an exclusive GFX workshop with the Fujifilm X photographer. So of course,
i-confirm ko
Yes,
lang,
go ahead.
you're getting the GFX 50S2, the body, or with the kit
body
lens.
or the kit lens, yes.
Yeah, na may battery na sa box. Tapos you're getting a second
Yes.
battery
A
for
second,
free.
right?
Tapos
yes.
you're getting the dual charger. So you can charge your
Yes.
2 new batteries at the same time with the new dual charger.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. So because inside the box of the GFX 50S and even the GFX 100S, so you get a USB-C cable charger and a power adapter. So this dual charger really is sold separately. So it comes you can buy it. It comes out of the box talaga. And pwede siyang sabay na mag-charge. So it's really very useful. So you get these very good freebies when you pre-order. So of course, the pre-order will be sa authorized na Fujifilm dealers only. So please watch out, or you may start calling them already to reserve and pre-order, of course, your 50S2. Okay. So
Magpapareserve
that's
na
it.
ako, Sir Glenn.
Sige, Sir Ted. Noted.
Intindi mo
And-
talaga, Tito Ted. Sobrang intindi mo talaga.
Ng demo unit. Papareserve na akong demo unit.
Okay, so
pero
before we
excited.
end this, yes, go ahead, Neil.
No, I'm actually very excited kasi pero wala tayong pre-order details dun sa lenses, no? Kasi parang yung isa,
Not yet,
yung
yes.
33 parang September.
That
lang.
around-
Sige.
Yeah.
Yun lang. Thank you.
Okay, sabi nga ni Sir JM, that's a good price. Yes, sir. That's a very good price for the GFX. Okay, so before we end, so any parting message to our viewers? Let's start with Neil.
Guys, thank you for joining us today. I very much enjoyed this kasi parang I actually was not able to watch the full presentation kagabi kasi nakatulog ako. Pagod na pagod ako kahapon. Pero I enjoyed that I enjoyed this whole experience. I'm actually very excited kasi lalo dun sa mga aside from the great new products that are coming themselves, excited din ako dun sa mga tinis ni Fujifilm. Hopefully, I get to join you guys again soon. So if ever Fujifilm does have an event for that 10-year anniversary, hopefully we'll see it. We'll see more very soon.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
Ayun,
Ted?
so thank you very much guys for joining us in this light session discussing yung mga products na lumabas at nakita natin after 10 years Fuji still actually drawing the roadmap sa mga exciting products at lenses. So thank you very much and stay safe guys. So keep safe pero still enjoy. Yun lang Sir Glenn.
Okay.
Yeah, keep safe. See you guys soon.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. Good night. So we'll now play the
Good night everyone.
product video. Good night.
The beauty of this world leaves me breathless. I capture more. The feeling, the atmosphere, the vibrancy. I feel compelled to preserve each precious, wonderful memory. To share each moment of your story. A story that reminds me of the beauty I've seen. What do you see? What will you create? A new experience. Your story is just beginning. GFX50S 2.